is an OClip Pro, and as the name implies, it is an EDC light that's designed to clip on. How does that work? Well, let's find out on this episode of Moondog Reviews. Let me start with a quick unboxing, and then let's just see the contents of the box. This is the Olight OClip Pro, and this is actually the special limited edition holiday version of this flashlight. You can, of course, purchase this any time of year without the limited edition graphics. It comes in a variety of colors, so you do have quite a few choices here. And as the name implies, the OClip has a built-in clip. It also has a built-in magnet, so that you can use this or the clip to attach it onto clothes, to gear, hats, or just attach it via the magnetics to a car door, a car hood, and use this as a hands-free work light as well as a handy EDC. It is very compact. It is roughly 2 inches long, an inch wide, and about an inch tall or thick, depending on how you describe that. So it is very compact and is relatively lightweight. Now, unlike Olight's other lights, this does not charge via a magnetic charging adapter, a hockey puck. This uses just a simple USB-C port. USB-C cable plugs right in, so I actually like that because I don't have to worry about bringing my Olight magnetic adapter, and I believe now the USB-Cs are charged even faster than the magnetic puck. So yeah, that is a nice little thing. And also this is a metal hinged cover, by the way. It's not just a silicone cover, so that's nicely engineered. And it is activated, and the functions run via a selector like the arc felt. And if you change the selector, it also lights up and shows you with the LED what its charge is for the battery. Green is fully charged, yellow is I think about half, and red means it's low. And it'll turn red again also when it's charging, and green when it is fully charged. And it has 3 different modes that you can select that correspond to the 3 different emitters. There's a red emitter, there is a spotlight, and there is a floodlight. And it comes locked in a locked mode, so to keep it from accidentally turning on while during shipping, so you have to press it for 2 seconds or more to put it to unlock it. But once unlocked, it's just a matter of tapping it to turn it on and keeping it pressed to cycle through the various modes. Both the spot and the flood have a low, medium, and high mode. There's also a moonlight mode. If when you have it off, you keep it pressed for more than 2 seconds or a second, it goes into a 1 lumen moonlight mode, which they say has a 6-day runtime, so that's quite a bit. And if you switch it to the different emitter of the 2 white emitters, it'll turn on at the corresponding power level. And it does have mode memory, and so if I turn this back on, it'll be again in moonlight mode. And if you double tap it, it goes into turbo mode, and the red emitter only has a constant on, and there's also a beacon mode. There's also a strobe mode. If you tap it 3 times, when it's off, it'll go into strobe. So those are the 3 basic modes, or the various modes. Now, to be honest, I can't really tell the difference between high mode and turbo mode on this, but we're going to give this a test and see how many lumen output it does at turbo mode. But first, we're going to fully recharge the unit before doing any of the tests, but we'll get to that next. Before we get started with the test, I'd just like to take a quick break here to talk about this episode's sponsor, Aura. For the cost of just a VPN, I'm getting a whole suite of security services, including $1 million in identity theft insurance, and they're even removing me from those damn data broker listings. Use my link, aura.com/moondog, and you can try them for 14 days, free. And if you use that link, you're helping to support this channel. You know, identity fraud is a real thing, and with AI, it's all too easy to spoof your identity. That's why you should try out Aura. All right, let's get back to the tests. I recharged the flashlight overnight and then let it run for 30 seconds to warm up the battery chemistry. As you can see, my testing rig is not a NASA-designed scientific instrument, but I have calibrated it to a known 100 lumen lamp. Based on my calculations, I was getting 455 lumens in turbo mode, which is pretty darn close to the 500 lumens that Olight claims, and well within margin of error for my testing rig. This is in moonlight mode with the flood beam. That's low, medium, high. I'm going to switch it over to the spot, moonlight mode with the spot, and you can see it definitely is a hot spot about 3 feet wide at this distance onto the door there. This is low, medium, high. I'm going to put it on turbo mode. Did go a little bit hotter, and this is what it looks like in the flood. And switching over to our red light mode, and that is it in steady red light mode. This is in red light mode. I'm going to switch it over to the spot. And that is on high or turbo. Let me see. I'll double tap it. That is turbo. And then let's go to the flood. And this is flood mode. And let's see if I can go back to spot and aim it at the telephone pole there, 120 feet away. We can clearly illuminate that using the spotlight mode. Industry standard drop tests are from 1 meter or 3 feet. I'm going to drop it from 6 feet twice onto rocks and dirt, so we'll see if it still works. Olight claims the unit is IPX6 water rated, which means it can survive high pressure water jets from 3 meters away. Well, I don't measure in metric, I use freedom units, and I'm just going to blast the hell out of this from about 1 foot away. The weak point will probably be the USB-C charging port, which has a metal cover but doesn't appear to have an O-ring seal, so this test may be a bad idea. Let's see if it's still working. Yeah, the flood works. I'm going to switch it over to the focused beam, and that works. And let's see if the red, yes, that works too. So, seems to have survived. Don't seem to have any water inside of the lens. Olight claims the unit has a runtime of approximately 94 minutes when started in turbo brightness. But don't worry, we're not going to sit here for 94 minutes. I'm going to set my camera on time-lapse. Note that I fully recharged the unit overnight before starting this test. We will see the flashlight step down in brightness over time. This is an automatic and built-in feature to the flashlight to prevent it from overheating and damaging the components and battery. We've already exceeded the 94 minutes the manufacturer claims, so this flashlight is performing far better than expected. It's currently outputting low or possibly even moonlight level brightness, and we're fast approaching double its stated runtime of 94 minutes. There we go. Let's see when this ends. And there we go. Wow, that was an impressive 220, almost 221 minutes of runtime. I'd like to thank Olight for sending out the OClip for me to test, and this is a fun little EDC light. Now I know it doesn't really come to mind when you think EDC in terms of its form factor, something more like the Olight Arcfeld probably does, but when you look at it, it's not that much thicker than the Arcfeld. It's certainly smaller and lighter, and so it really would fit in your pocket just as easily as an Arcfeld, and with a clip, it keeps it from falling all the way down into your pocket and having to fish it out. It's certainly small and light enough you can put it into a purse or backpack, side bag, or what have you, and it certainly is an everyday carry light. It's a good bridge between say a full-sized EDC and a micro keychain one, though it also does have a little hole here, so you could run a keychain ring through this and turn it into a keychain light, I suppose, but it lends itself to being a lot more useful than a lot of keychain lights because of the clip here. You're able to just attach it to your collar, or your gear or your shirt and turn it into a hands-free work light. The only place that it really doesn't lend itself to is actually where the standard wand does excel in, that you could attach it directly to your hat brim and turn it into a headlamp. When you try to attach the OClip to a hat brim, this is what happens. It turns it into, well, not so much a headlamp as a mouth lamp. It's illuminating my mouth, and even when you tilt it up, yeah, it's still not really illuminating far enough forward for me, and I'm getting spill into my eyes now. So yeah, but otherwise this is a great little useful lamp, and certainly with the magnetic bottom of the clip there, has even more utility than most EDC and keychain lights out there. So, and very affordable, by the way. So if you're interested in picking one up, I've included product links as well as more information in my full written review at moondogindustries.com. You'll find a link to that article in this video's description. Use the links and you'll be helping out this channel. And of course, you can always help by simply hitting the like button, subscribe button, and notification bell buttons. It doesn't cost anything to be a subscriber to my channel, so I appreciate you taking the time to press those buttons and taking the time to watch this video. God bless. Moondog out. Hey, I'd like to know what you thought of this video. Leave me a comment or chat with me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, MeWe, Instagram, or Locals. And if you want to see all of my videos, go to moondogindustries.com.